Veterans re-entering civilian life face many challenges, including finding a job. Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Welcome to this edition of Military Makeover Operation Career. Today, we have 4 inspirational stories of former servicemen and women who have reinvented themselves and are thriving at companies who value their unique skills. First up, we're headed to Jacksonville, Florida to visit one of the oldest Kraft Heinz plants in the country and learning how this powerhouse company is driving transformation and giving back to veterans in a big way.
The Kraft Heinz Company is one of the largest food and beverage companies in the world, with a strong track record of building powerful and iconic brands. Much of the company's success depends on the consumer-focused team and skilled employees that make up the Kraft Heinz family, a family that shares the same values, principles, and vision to make life delicious. Meet Global Chief People Officer Melissa Wernick. Melissa joined Kraft Heinz in 2013 and is responsible for overseeing the global human resources function.
First and foremost, Kraft Heinz values and beliefs, they align with my personal values and beliefs. And the company offers unique opportunities for development and a chance to own your career. Diversity is one of our values. And this value is about embracing the opportunity to bring in talent who give a diverse perspective and help us think differently. Our Veterans Business Resource Group helps us create an environment where all of our people feel that they belong. They feel recognized, create relationships, and support one another on a personal and professional growth. Sharing our mission and values with veterans to join our organization and supporting the veteran community outside of our walls.
U.S. Navy veteran Daryl Williams has been working at the Kraft Heinz Maxwell House plant for 15 years and currently serves as a machine operator.
I joined the Navy in 1984 and I actually did 20 years. I did 5 deployments on 4 different aircraft carriers. My most memorable deployment I did was during 9/11. We were on the water for 159 days straight during that time frame. One thing the Navy taught me was attention to detail, being to work on time, doing the job right the first time. I worked on airplanes for 20 years. I figured I can operate these machines, and it did come pretty easy to me, and the same concept. Like I said, the first thing they talk about here at Kraft is safety all the time. So it all transitioned over pretty easy for me.
Meet former U.S. Naval Officer Viviana Zobgi. Viviana has been working at Kraft Heinz for the past 10 years and currently serves as an engineering group lead, managing capital projects at several of the company's manufacturing facilities.
I was in the Navy for 10 years. I was an electronic countermeasures officer flying EA-6B prowlers. In that time, I did a couple of deployments overseas, which included an Iraq deployment supporting Operation Iraqi Freedom. One of the most valuable lessons, I think, was being of service to something that's bigger than you. So I worked with a military transition recruiter, and I actually interviewed with a lot of different companies. At the time, I was hired into Kraft Heinz. The department where I started, they were looking for military veterans or people with military experience. Here at Kraft Heinz, I'm an engineering group lead, so I work within the corporate engineering group on big capital projects within our manufacturing facilities, and I get to meet with a lot of our employees that are also veterans. I think it's great to work for a company that really values what veterans can bring to the organization, and it is nice to work for a company that really supports our veterans.
To find out more about job opportunities at Kraft Heinz and their inspiring veteran hiring initiatives, visit careers.kraftheinz.com.
Window coverings. Probably not something that we think about every day, but we all have them and we use them. Let's visit Blumen Blinds, a national window covering chain with a huge heart for their veteran franchise owners and operators.
When Kelsey Stewart and his family started Bloomin Blinds in 2001, little did they know that it would become one of the dominant window covering franchises in the country. But that's exactly what happened.
Blumen Blinds started in a 3-bedroom apartment. It's never been a brick and mortar store. We're a mobile service, so we don't need the traditional brick and mortar. We're able to move very nimbly. Everything's designed for us to go to the customer.
As innovative as that approach is, the focus of the company remains firmly on family.
Blumen Blinds is a family business through and through. It was started by a family, my mom and my 2 other brothers and myself. Most of our franchise owners are family units.
As a family business, it's fantastic because you set your own hours, and that's the biggest perk, I would say, for owning this franchise, is the ability to do what you want to do. It's the freedom.
Mark came straight out of the Marines, had a little time in private life, knew he wanted something that was for himself and something that he could build and own and operate to provide for his family.
Hi! I got out of the Marine Corps in 2005. I really had no idea what to do when you got out. We contacted Kelsey, and this seemed like a good way to do it.
Mark is one of these big personalities, high energy, smart, might be one of the smartest people that I know, and an incredible family man.
I have an awful lot of respect for Kelsey and Chris and Kevin, the 3 brothers that own this business, and I owe my current success to them for sure.
That's because Blumen Blinds understands the value vets bring to their rapidly expanding franchise operation.
Blumen Blinds has a real heart for members that have been in service. Those with military experience can really lead to building a business. Another great advantage of a military veteran is that work ethic.
I went in shortly after high school. You know, there's so much organization within the military, attention to detail. There's a process, and organization is key.
David has proven to be a really great operator and great team player.
Got introduced to Kelsey and Chris and the Blumen Blinds organization. I just really liked their model. And the more I dug into it and the more time I spent with them, it just really fit with what I wanted to do from a business standpoint. I want to create jobs. I want to create opportunities for other people. As it grows, the goal is to take the family and bring the family into it as we grow.
But like many vets, the transition from the military to the civilian can be challenging.
Coming back from Iraq had stuff that happened to me, producing a culture among Marines, among 20-year-old men that were going out there to do violent things and then coming back and going to college in the United States. It is a massive cultural shift. That drove me into a pretty dark place.
But like Dave, Mark found a career with Blumen Blinds that was equal parts family and business.
I was answering calls, I was doing the scheduling, I was doing the quotes and installs and everything else. A lot to take on. My wife, Jennifer, was very eager to make it work, and she came on so that I could focus on the more labor-intensive side of things. So yeah, we do have to get down to the community college. Blumen Blinds really fulfills everything that I was missing with a job.
Blumen Blinds, hiring vets and launching careers.
SANS is the most trusted and by far the largest source of information security training and security certification in the world. We recently visited their headquarters in Bethesda, Maryland, to learn how veterans are advancing their mission.
For over 30 years, SANS Institute has been dedicated to empowering current and future cybersecurity practitioners with training, education, certifications, and resources to create a safer global community. Meet Jim Yacone, their Executive Vice President and Chief of Mission.
SANS is a very veteran-friendly company. Its founder, Alan Paller, was focused on really solving the cybersecurity workforce shortage, and he knew that we as a company needed to train the military. And so we were very involved, and still are involved, with training active duty military really in all branches of the services. So SANS Institute had a contract with the FBI to provide cybersecurity training. Back in 2015, we made it a more formal process. We stood up the Vet Success Academy, and we were targeting folks transitioning from the military that did not have a background in cyber or cybersecurity. So we pull into a fully funded scholarship program called Vet Success, and we provide them 3 nationally and internationally recognized certifications and the training behind it, and then also help marry them up with future employers and folks that want to immediately hire them as soon as they are trained.
U.S. Air Force veteran Leslie Picht is one of the many successful graduates of SANS Institute's Vet Success program. She currently works at a security operations center as the cybersecurity incident response team manager.
I joined the Air Force as a communications and computer officer, which is essentially an IT professional. And I spent the next 14 years as a pilot flying KC-135 aircraft, conducting global air refueling operations. I had a challenge after retirement. We spent years in the military honing our skill set to essentially protect and defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But now you're in an environment where you don't feel you have an enemy or a battle space. Well, I found that in cybersecurity. And the Vet Success program provided hands-on training that allowed me to gain credibility in a technical way for the cybersecurity industry.
After serving more than 23 years in the U.S. Air Force, retired Senior Master Sergeant Donnie Green began his transition to civilian life and was selected for membership in the SANS Vet Success program.
Got picked up for the SANS Cyber Immersion Academy, and while in the academy, I secured my first job, which was a huge stress relief for me. I ended up working in the same facility that I was in the military, just a different floor and in a different capacity as a federal contractor. Working with civilians, former veterans, actual military, made that transition so much easier. For veterans that are looking at transitioning out of the military and would like to get into cybersecurity, trust that your skills that you learned in the military, like your leadership, being part of a team, the intense training that you receive, all of that stuff makes people better as a cyber professional.
Spherion Staffing and Recruiting is a pioneer in the human resources industry. With 75 years experience, it's no wonder they're successful in helping companies find the right employees and veterans. Watch this.
Welcome to Spherion Staffing and Recruiting. Their tagline, "Let's get to work," is more than just an attention grabber. It's a promise to their clients, franchisees, and the veterans who are part of the team. Meet Rebecca Rogers Tijarino, president of Spherion.
Our company is incredibly unique. First of all, we're an organization of franchise owners, which means that all of our offices are very committed to what they do. Our vision is to drive careers, grow businesses, and better the communities that we call home. We are crazy about recruiting veteran franchise owners. In fact, we offer them a discount on our franchise fees. And we find that veterans and retirees are the best candidates for owners because they have great discipline. They have wonderful integrity, which is one of our core values, right? We always want to have owners that not only are great leaders of their own business, but great leaders in their community. And we find that veterans are a great fit to our core values. We put over 85,000 people to work across America. And one of the very best candidates are those that are leaving the military or have retired from the military. We're also the member of a larger firm called Randstad, and Randstad is the largest HR solutions provider in the world. And they actually are also aligned with Monster. So Monster is a part of our family of companies.
Meet Shayla McLeod.
Well, I joined the Marine Corps back in 2007. I was going to Timber Creek High School here in Florida, and I just saw a Marine at school, and I said, hey, that uniform dress blues look really nice. So I said, why not? But my dad was also in the Marine Corps. So I decided to do something different because college at the time wasn't for me. And I just made the decision at 17 years old, and my parents signed me away and I left. A friend of mine told me about Spherion because they worked for them before. So when I moved to Florida in 2015, I came to the office, and they placed me with the JCPenney warehouse. I came back again this year I contacted Melissa and David, and they were like, come to the office. So when I got here, they placed me with Crown Healthcare Laundry Services, and I was hired on the spot as a supervisor. I love it. It's so much fun. It's basically what I did in the Marine Corps logistics, but on the linen end. We support all hospitals with linen, any type of surgical needs that they need to provide for patients and care for patients. So I feel like I'm doing something important. My long-term goals are for me to be a production manager where I work at. My degree is in health management, so I want to be able to manage a department and buy a house and for my 2 children. And just continue my career. I love helping people. That's basically why I do what I do.
Meet veteran Michael Spalding.
I've only had 2 jobs my entire life. After college, I spent 21 years in the military, and now I'm approaching 10 years with Spherion. I loved the military, I loved what I did, and I love the job I have now, so I've been really lucky. The way I became part of Spherion is a little different. My mother was a client, and when I retired from the military, she said, you should go by and see Terry Nichols at Spherion. They help people find jobs. So I walked in, spoke with Terry for 5 minutes. The next day she called me back and offered me a job in her office. So my day includes handling employee issues on the floor, any issues with the supervisors. I work hand in hand with the vice president, the plant manager, the human resources manager, and the safety manager to handle any issues inside the building. But I also do payroll, benefits administration, really tied to the employee in every aspect of the business.
So whether you're looking to start your own franchise or hire a veteran through their staffing network, Spherion is making a difference in the lives of our heroes.
I can't think of a more rewarding opportunity than to help people find jobs because of the amount of people it impacts.
Great to see that after sacrificing so much during their military service, today's veterans are able to shine at these outstanding companies. I'm Montel Williams. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Military Makeover Operation Career. We'll see you next time.